Anyways, today I was flying back from Philly, and I
Hmm.
sort of caused like an hour delay.
For the plane?
Yeah. So everybody was, I sort of like being the last person on the plane anyways, because I don't like just waiting in that terminal or beside that little thing that gets onto the plane, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, so I was sitting in line, and they're like, hey, everybody with a big bag, check it in. And I was like, all right, I'll check in my bag. It's a backpack, but I like to have like room anyways, so I'll check it in. So I went back to the seats, started taking out my stuff. Like they're like, you have to take your laptop out of your whatever and bring it on the plane. So I was doing that. There's a massive line. I'm watching everybody do it. So I'm like the last one. And so I'm like the last one, and there's like a couple other people. So I'm like, all right, I'll go up now and check in my bag. So I'll go up, and I'm waiting there, and nothing's really happening. Like she's like taking care of some other people. And then all of a sudden the door closes, and they're like, "All right, that's it. Nobody else is getting on the plane." And then this one woman starts freaking out. She's like, "No, no, no, no! I've been in line. I've been in line this whole time." And then I like sort of, and then the other lady's like, "Sorry, like you can't do anything about it." And I like sort of walk up behind. I was like, "Hey, you told me I had to check in my bag. I was just waiting to check it in." She's like, "Oh yeah, I do remember you. Let me go see what I could do." So she goes into the plane, and then like 2 minutes later, she comes out, opens the door. She's like, "All right, you guys got to come in really fast." So we're like, the woman in front of me is like running with her child, and I was like, sort of just like walking a little bit fast. And then so we get onto the plane, and there's people that have to pull off the plane because they gave our tickets away to other people that were like on standby, I guess.
Hmm.
So all that's happening. So I walk while they're taking the women's people out of their seats. I'm walking down to my seat. I put my bag up. There's a dude in my seat, 20F. I'm like, hey, like you're 20F, or like I'm 20F. Are you 20F as well? And it's like, yeah, it says it here on my ticket. And I was like, all right, I'll just wait and see what happens. So I was standing there, and then all of a sudden the lady comes down. She's like walks by me, doesn't really say anything to me. The one that's like pulling people off the plane so we could sit down. And then she like goes and talks for a little bit. So I'm like standing there for like 10 minutes, just like in the plane.
Hmm.
I'm the only person standing there. I don't have a seat. And the whole plane's just like
Well,
waiting there.
you're just like in the
I'm
aisle.
just in the
Just
aisle standing up, dude, by the bathroom. And so I
yeah.
was like, all right, dude, what do I, I'm not gonna be like, dude, you have to get out. Because like we both have 20F on our ticket. So anyways, me and him are chatting a little bit. He's like, hey, like I just got my ticket. Like I'll give you the seat if you need it. And I was like, we'll just let them figure it out because it looked like there was an extra seat available.
Yeah.
So I was waiting, and apparently the seat belt was broken in the other seat. So then she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, I have to pull you off. You have to speak to our manager." I was like, "All right, I guess." But the guy heard that, and then she like walks back to talk to a flight attendant, I guess. And the guy's like, "Hey, I'll get out. Like I just got my ticket. You deserve it." I was like, "Dude, are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." So then he gets off the plane, and then I get into my seat, and then they have some like maintenance guy walk on the plane and try and fix the seat belt for this other seat, and it was just a whole like hour long process of all this. But they just like ended up leaving, and then I don't know what the other guy. Guess he just got off the plane. He's like, I do have a checked bag, but I'll just find out how to get it from
Oh,
Florida. I was
oh,
like,
that's terrible.
I was like, all right, thanks, man. it was, it was sort of like, it was sort of like, I mean, I wasn't that embarrassed because like, I didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, I sort of just like waited to the last.
I mean, the most embarrassing part is just like standing like in the middle of the aisle, just
Yeah, like
kind of like okay.
people were like heard me and him talking, and then I was just like, they'll figure it out. We'll find a seat or something like that, and like people were like laughing, but it was very weird. They were not organized at all. American at the front desk. But yeah, that was my plane delay story.
Don't you love when they just sell multiple tickets of the same ticket multiple times? The
Yeah,
best.
like I was like I wasn't far. I was in sight of them waiting in line. But yeah, I don't know. It was wild. And like them taking off people from the plane, they were
I
probably
feel
like
like
so excited. They're like, "Yes, we
I
made it
feel like they would
on."
have done it either. I feel like they would have done it like either way. Like if you were on the plane, they would have done it to him, but since he was in the plane, they did it to you.
Well,
You
I never
know?
scanned my ticket, so I think that's why they gave it to him.
Did you check in the night before too?
I checked in. I was checked in, and then I was in line, and I was gonna scan my ticket, and then she's like, "Yeah, you should probably check in your bag." So then I went to the check-in line, and then
I
I
got
sat
you.
down because I had to take stuff out, and I was watching people like check it. There was a ton of people checking in stuff. So then once the line cleared, I walked up there, and then she was taking care of these other people, and I guess she was giving the tickets to them, and then they got in, and they're like, "All right, that's it." And I was standing there at the desk. I was like, "Whoa, you just told me to check my bag."
Oh, so they probably like everyone went in and then they gave out like the standby
Yeah,
tickets.
yeah, that's what
But since
happened.
you did, okay, yeah,
But they never. They said they did last call. They never did last. I was standing right there the whole time, or like I was
yeah,
sitting like 10 yards away, 15 yards
yeah.
away. They never did a last call. But yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty wild. It's like, what the heck, dude? This is. I've never done this in my life. I thought when they closed the door on us, the lady was like freaking out. I was like, whatever. They'll figure out a way for me to get back there. They said talk to the manager. So like I'm. If they pulled me, they probably would have given me like free
Yeah, they would
something.
reimburse you probably.
Yeah, but it wasn't even on my card. The company paid for it.
Oh, the what was it for the law
Law
firm?
firm. Yeah.